Today in the news, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson's National Suicide Hotline Designation Act is signed into law, and the City of Dallas's Hospital Capacity Report. Today is October 19th, 2020, and this is Dallas Weekly News. Hello, I'm your host, Patrick Washington, and this is Dallas Weekly News. Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson's National Suicide Hotline Designation Act was signed into law by President Donald J. Trump. Congresswoman Johnson introduced the legislation in the House of Representatives with Representatives Chris Stewart of Utah, Seth Moulton of Massachusetts, and Greg Gianforte of Montana. The National Suicide Hotline Designation Act directs the Federal Communications Commission to designate 988 as the National Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Crisis Hotline System. The system will include the Veterans Crisis Line to specifically support veterans seeking mental health support. Additionally, the bill authorizes states to collect a fee dedicated solely to supporting local crisis call centers that are affiliated within the national network for enhancements of such services. The National Suicide Hotline Designation Act becoming law follows Congresswoman Johnson's previous effort, the National Suicide Improvement Act, which was signed into law August of 2018. The law directed the FCC and the SAMHSA to study the feasibility of a 3-digit dial-in code for the National Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Crisis Hotline. The FCC publicly released their report in August 2019, finding that designating a 3-digit code dedicated solely for the purpose of National Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Hotline would likely make it easier for Americans in crisis to access life-saving resources. It was in that report that the FCC recommended 988 as a 3-digit code to be used for this purpose, thus setting the framework for Congresswoman Johnson's National Suicide Hotline Designation Act. And now the City of Dallas's Hospital Capacity Report. This has been Dallas Weekly News. I'm your host, Patrick Washington. You can find this and more stories on DallasWeekly.com and follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And of course, as always, if you can, please stay home, stay safe, and we will see you again tomorrow.